Hey, welcome to World Entertainment. Creature Commandos, the official thing that kickstarted James Gunn's DCU. The very thing that nobody watched. In fact, it did so bad that Warner Brothers went ahead and put the whole thing on YouTube for free. Except there's an issue. That didn't work out too well for them either, because Creature Commandos' YouTube stream bombs with only 300 viewers. Episodes already pulled. Yeah, you heard that right. They managed to only pull in 300 viewers to watch Creature Commandos for free on YouTube. Because the thing was a disaster. It's a horrible show. It's terrible. It's god-awful. It's trash. So much so that nobody watched it and nobody ever talks about it. Every time people mention James Gunn's DCU, it's always Superman and what's coming next. It's never, ever Creature Commandos. But let's have a look at this. So, the YouTube marathon for Creature Commandos has turned into another embarrassment for James Gunn and the DCU. Viewers on social media reported that live airing peaked at only about 300 concurred watchers. Numbers you'd expect from a small fan channel, not a YouTube channel with over 5 million subscribers, and certainly not for an official DC rollout meant to hype Gunn's universe. The turnout lines up with what we already knew. Creature Commandos failed to make the Nielsen streaming charts during its HBO run, confirming it was one of DC's least watched originals. Gunn's Peacemaker on HBO also lost nearly 40% of its viewers. Now, that part I don't know whether they mean from season 1 to season 2 or throughout watching the series of season 2 that it started to drop off. They don't seem to put in what exactly they mean by that one. So, adding to this strange rollout, the episodes no longer seem to be available on DC's official YouTube channel. There doesn't even seem to be a link to the feed anywhere online. Now, just before I go on, the thing about that part is that they were meant to have only put it on for a week. It wasn't meant to be on there for good. They did say it was only going on for a week, so that could be why it's already gone or getting pulled. But it is interesting that there wasn't even links to the thing. So as of now, the channel only shows Superman Fortnite live stream in the live section with no trace of the Creature Commandos marathon streams. Again, that was meant to only be put up for a week, so, and I can't remember what day they put it on. That is the thing though, I think they only put it on there on the start of this week, so yeah, that could be interesting if they did pull it within the week they were putting it there. We'll find out, I suppose. So whether the videos were pulled due to low interest, technical issues, or to avoid public view counts is unclear, but the optics aren't great. The episodes were slated to air on December 22nd and December 23rd, so we'll have to check back tomorrow to see if they return. Maybe they're available only for a limited time each day. Again, now you can see where they're saying these were the dates they were supposed to air, at least some of them. But if they can't find any of them, then yeah, that means they are pulling them, because they were meant to release the whole show for a week. A full week for the whole thing, not episode by episode. So yeah, that sounds like they're pulling it. So Creature Commandos was supposed to be the big opening act for Gunn's rebooted DCU. Instead, the series underperformed on HBO, and now even a free YouTube push can't draw more than a few hundred viewers. Gunn has repeatedly insisted his DCU is for the fans, but the numbers keep showing those fans simply aren't showing up. It's also the fact that all of these things that he's putting out are R-rated things. Creature Commandos was R-rated. Peacemaker Season 2, R-rated. Clayface coming up, R-rated. Wouldn't be surprised if Supergirl managed to get an R rating. Superman has been the only thing that was PG-13, basically. And of course, Lanterns will be coming up, and that's R-rated. So, yeah, to try and say, oh, it's for the fans. Not really, because you're leaving a lot of the fans on the cutting room floor, really, because you had to not be able to introduce kids to this stuff. Which, look, you don't need to give kids every single part of your DCU and stuff like that. But when, at this stage, the majority of your DCU is off limits, yeah, I think you're got a big issue happening right there. Especially when you go, hey, Superman is out. Everyone can come and see it. Bring the whole family. And the sequel to it is Peacemaker Season 2. Come on, watch a coke-fueled bisexual orgy. It's like, oh. So, yeah. And yeah, there was F-bombs and violence and even sex in Creature Commandos. So, yeah, you're not exactly tuning into that with the kids. So, yeah, they've got massive issues. But this just shows you how piss poor Creature Commandos was. That people couldn't even be bothered to check it out for free on YouTube. Because nobody even remembers that this thing came out. I watched at first 2 or 3 episodes and I was done. I was like, I can't do this, I'm out. And it was god awful. It's like the worst type of jokes. Yeah, there's just no real explaining how bad this thing was. And the fact that it never gets mentioned. Every time he talks about the DCU and everybody else jumps in to talk about the DCU, nobody mentions Creature Commandos. Because nobody remembers the bloody thing even exists. That's how bad it is. So if this type of thing is struggling, you have to ask the question, is it because it's the animation? Is it because it really was that bad? Is it because it wasn't linking up to anything else? Even though technically it kind of does, because they do fake Frank Grillo's, why am I blanking on his name now? Rick Flag Sr. out of that and into Superman. And then, of course, they took him out of that and put him into Peacemaker Season 2. And he's going to be back, I believe, for Man of Tomorrow and all this stuff. So, technically, there were links from this into that. And, of course, Creature Commandos was where they gave us the first glimpse, even though you don't see his face or anything, but you see the silhouette of Batman. So they did technically introduce the DCU's Batman, which then they have the issue of, okay, you've shown his design slightly. Basically, he's got a massive build. Now you've tied yourself into the fact that, the person you're gonna get to play Batman will have to be well built. So Creature Commandos did set up a few things, and it just ain't pulling in any audience, even on YouTube for free. It's interesting, but what do you guys think? Do you think they're pulling it because of low views, or do you think they just have issues with it? Let me know what you think of this. And did you ever watch Creature Commandos? And if you did, what did you ever think of it? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.